guys, it's going to be a great episode today.
It's going to be a very cold episode.
Yeah, that is
Een lang deze uitzending gaat duren.
Dit is geen media. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of HIWRs3ep2 of Season 3. Wow, 3 seasons again. Massive shout out to HIWRs3ep2 and all the rugby supporters in the Netherlands for keeping the show going. What a fantastic achievement. Tonight, action-packed show. Although we've only got 3 games to show you tonight, there's an action-packed cast with us tonight. Of course, my good old friend Eric.
Hello.
Welcome back, Eric.
Dankjewel.
And then Daniel, or Gersy, should I say?
Yeah,
Just Gersy.
you can call me Gersy, mate.
New coach of the Oysters. Welcome to Rugby Netherlands, the Netherlands. Although you are ingeburgerd with a passport. So
Yes, yeah.
yeah, welcome, mate. And then, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, back at RC Ferrari.
Vroom vroom.
Storm, Carrol, welcome, mate. Good to have you back on the show.
Thanks for having me back after the last show.
Yeah, you said more in the introduction than
I
you did
know,
on the
I know.
whole of last show.
I always do.
And you were hiding your beer this time. You
That's out there now.
I see you've got the Just Do It tick going there as well.
Of course. Just got this specially made for this show.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah.
There we go. Compliments of Rugby magazine, I think it is.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
Given. Drove all the way to my house to drop it off too.
There we go, man.
perfect.
There we go. Well, in the show tonight, we're going to be talking about, obviously, the last week's Era Klasse results. Also, a little bit of international news, but also get to know all the controversies around Rugby Netherlands. I learned something new tonight. I now know why Eric has 2 pairs of glasses. You know, I believe Mark Plaat's wedding dresses. You can work it out. I never knew this.
New Tinder for us, yeah.
Wow.
I never knew this, but maybe is that where you get your winter tires from? All this.
Ik ben blij dat je dat even zo privé vraagt aan me. Het ging over Storm, dus het gaat over Storm.
No, but well, I'm going to start with Gersy. Gersy, obviously,
Yes.
welcome to the Era Klasse. A couple of games under your belt with the Oysters, but we must say, I mean, we've always thought the Oysters is sort of underperformed with the sort of group they have. I know you're not happy about the results so far, but I mean, there's definitely some interesting signs of some real open, sort of attractive rugby.
Yeah, look, we're putting a lot of effort into what we do. You can't take away the effort from the boys and what they're applying themselves and putting out in the pitch. So, yeah, we've got to tidy up some things in-house and we've got to have a look at, you know, if there's a few rugby IQ things and a few things that we do. But, yeah, we're definitely headed in the right direction.
Nice. Before we go any further, a little bit of history about yourself. Obviously, Australian. But
yeah.
maybe a little bit of history about, you know, where have you coached in the past few seasons? And
yeah, so I've done sort of 10 years in the Shoot Shield. So I know a few of the boys that are sort of over here now as well from that era. So I've done 10 years in the Shoot Shield. I've done Singapore. I've done the national team in Singapore. Ran the defence over there and done a couple of seasons over there as well. Always wanted to get back here. I've been over here in 1992 or 92, tot 97. There you go, I did that.
bit of Dutch.
But yeah, so and it was always on the list that I wanted to get back over here. So it's really good being here, and I'm pretty proud of the group and where we are at.
En Daniel, wie zijn naar Australië geëmigreerd? Je ouders of je grootouders?
Ja, mijn vader ben een Nederlander.
Ja?
Ja, ik heb een Nederlands paspoort.
Ja. En die is ergens in de jaren 50 naar Australië gegaan.
He was 19, so nu he's 80, so yeah, it's a few more years than that, yeah.
Daar gingen we na de show uit.
Was he sent to Australia as a criminal? Or?
Oi!
Well, he jumped on a boat. That's all he's told me. He jumped on a boat.
That's where they sent him.
Was that a little bit of a New Zealand topic?
Dat waren Engelse criminelen. Hè. Wij moeten echt speciaal criminelen importeren, hè, want we hebben er gewoon te weinig.
No, welcome, Gersy. I think it's great to have a coach of your stature and track record into Dutch rugby. Hopefully, everyone benefits from your experience and knowledge that you're going to bring to the table, which I think it's only good for Dutch rugby that we have such quality coaches. I know that Storm, he was saying about this, that, maybe we could have the same quality in referees and administrators.
Definitely. And now that I'm not part of the edit class, yeah, for sure, 100%. Like, yeah.
Jij haalt gewoon gelijk de trekker over, hè?
The amount of abuse I was giving to the refs.
Wait, no, we don't abuse the refs. No one's abusing the referees here. Eric, you wanted to talk a little bit about a platform that you wanted to discuss with.
Nou ja, dus we zijn met iets heel gaafs bezig. Het ereklasseoverleg, zoals dat zo mooi heet. Okay. Dat zijn de gezamenlijke ereklassenclubs. We hebben besloten dat er voor de ereklasse gewoon een streamingplatform moet komen. Dat komt er ook. Dat zal heten Ereklasse TV of iets dergelijks, maar dat is niet alleen. Daar worden alle wedstrijden van de Ereklasse uitgezonden. Daar worden real life de standen doorgegeven. Je kunt ook aanvinken dat je die doorgestuurd wil hebben. Je kunt je favoriete club opgeven. Je kunt naar een wedstrijd, je kunt naar de volgende wedstrijd swipen. Dus die allemaal gaande zijn op dat moment. In de toekomst ook de future klasse. Professionele graphics erbij, gele kaarten, wie scoort, spelerspaspoorten. Eigenlijk ziet dat er heel goed uit, maar er is wel heel veel werk. Iets meer wel gehoopt aan het begin van het seizoen al
Oké, so the platform is not there yet.
Het platform is er wel. Maar de clubs moeten nog wat blanks invullen, zou ik zeggen.
Yeah, because obviously it's quite difficult to obviously get the footage of the weekend's games. If every club's not filming it at a decent level and uploading it, I mean, it just...
Ja, dat ligt niet aan de clubs nu, hè, want je ziet dat de clubs dat steeds beter gaan doen. Op 1 of 2 clubs na, maar AAC en Breda zijn er nog, die doen nog niet streamen. De andere clubs allemaal wel. Het probleem is nu dat vanuit Rugby Nederland zit er iemand, ik zeg niet wie, maar het begint met een kr en het eindigt op isstof, die wedstrijden moet uploaden in Teams TV en daar gaat het dan naartoe. En dan zouden wij makkelijker uit kunnen halen, maar dan zou iedereen het ook makkelijker
I think I'm just going to have to say disclaimer, I'm on coffee, these guys are all on beer. So,
can you edit that?
But look, I do think that it's a pity that we don't have footage of a couple of games tonight. We don't have footage of the Rotterdam Diok game, which is apparently a real interesting game in the terms of Wolf van Dijk tearing it up, as everyone assumed he would. Easy win there. But I think it's important to grow the product. If you want to grow the game as a whole, this is really important for this to come through, right?
Yeah, and we use a platform in Australia called Stan. So every Shoot Shield game's live, and you can Stan Sports, so you can actually watch it, and you can watch it in your own time, and you can watch the highlights and the 20-minute packages, and everything's there, right? But that's driven by the customer buying that package. So clubs are putting it up, but then you're paying like $20 a month.
Ja.
To have that.
Ja, wij gaan iets anders. Het model is iets anders wat wij gaan doen. Dus we gaan dat allemaal brengen. En in de winter komt daar het nationale team bijvoorbeeld bij. Of Six Nations kunnen uitgezonden worden via een API, heet dat, met Ziggo. Dus het wordt een heel compleet product. Het is, als je het ziet, is het echt spectaculair. Alleen het verdienmodel is anders. We gaan werken met sponsoren.
Maar het Nederlands, dus kijken niet kopen.
Yeah.
Nee, daarom
The Dutchies won't pay $20 a month, mate. They won't do that.
Nee, maar het gaat ook anders werken. Dat gaan we in ieder geval proberen. Overigens zal ik jou vertellen, ik stond net te kijken omdat Unpro Sport, die Vimeo-camera's, die doen de tweede divisie. Ik wist niet eens dat dat bestond. Tweede divisie in het voetbal. En dan zat ik net te kijken, daar betaal je gewoon 100 zoveel euro voor per jaar om dat te kunnen volgen.
Football's a little bit different to rugby. I think it's the same as when we get quality in terms of coaches, administrators, referees, whatever. We should all learn that we have to pay for these sort of things, and if we want to keep that quality, if we want to have a good platform, it's going to cost, and that's something that we have to also embrace as the rugby sort of family. But moving on to Stormy, obviously Storm back at Rugby Club Hilversum. Very interesting story about that is that it used to be known as RC Ferrari. I think in those days it was certainly a Ferrari.
I think you were part of that conversation.
I was part of that conversation. That Koi was the Fiat, and why would you want to drive a Fiat when you could drive a Ferrari and play for Hilversum? So that's how it all started.
That's how it started, yeah. But then, it was kind of an internal thing, but then it just blew up. Everyone was calling us that, but it kind of fit because we dominated for 10 years, so it just fit that.
I love how it just rolls off your tongue so easily.
Bevrijd, hè?
But I
Liberated.
mean, now you're not really a Fiat, you're more a Donkey Kong.
No, we're probably exactly like, we're still Ferrari, right? But if you watch the F1, right, they're kind of mid-table-ish now. They're building their way up. So
In the first class.
Hoe is jouw Afrikaans?
the first guys,
No, of course, it's fine, right?
we're coming.
Ossewa.
We're coming.
Yeah, also,
Ossewa.
there we go. Yeah. No, but obviously, Stormy. So it's great to see you go back to a club that did a lot for you, and you did a lot for them. I believe a lot of the old boys are getting back involved. So, it's good to see. I mean, Hilversum is one of the strongest clubs in the Dutch competition. 19 championships.
19.
Ereklasse championships in the club's history. So great to see that you guys are getting back involved in.
I was happy to be part of 6 of those as well. So giving that experience to these
How
new
many
guys.
trophies have you won with every club that you've played for?
Heet dat niet humble bragging tegenwoordig?
Well, I'm just trying to promote
I'm really proud to
Hilversum
say
here, right?
I've been able to be part of it.
We won't bring up your trophy success. Exactly.
Look, I'm not part of the inner class anymore, so I can
Do whatever you
I can do whatever I want now. But I want to share that kind of those experiences I had when I was with Hilversum when we were dominating with these new boys as well, because they never had a part of that. All they did was read about it basically, or watch it from the sideline. So trying to give them a little bit of that is basically my goal for this season.
Yeah, so as a coach, you brought a bit of theming in as well in terms of the Ferrari.
Basically, yeah. So if you're watching us on social media, you'll see the Ferrari going around all the time. But the theme for our season is Ferrari. I wanted these boys not to live on our legacy of the Ferrari, but to build their own legacy. So the theme is more about building our own Ferrari, however that looks like. It doesn't matter what it looks like or whatever. It's just them contributing to what that Ferrari looks like, basically. And they've bought into this as well.
Awesome.
So everything that we do is just all about F1 or the Ferrari as well. So
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, some international news on the weekend. Delta, comprehensive victory over Brussels Devils. Fantastic game. Probably the best game that I've seen Delta play. Comprehensive, I think it was 42-17, something like that. Great performance from Lynn Jones and his team there. I saw them train the whole week. I must say, really, really impressive youngsters coming through. It's fantastic to see that Delta finally probably hitting the straps that we want them to hit. And it have a little bit more meaning. In the past, I think it was a little bit like, okay, let's put some players together.
yeah, whoever turns up can play.
And now really, I think we're finally starting to see some real interesting results. But also for the players, speaking to them, they're actually very keen to play for Delta, which is great to see. It's only good for Dutch rugby.
Ja, maar er zijn wel een paar clubs best ongelukkig met het selectiebeleid. We hebben afspraken gemaakt, 2 spelers per club. Daar houdt niemand zich echt aan, lijkt het. Ze vinden het ook moeilijk om daarmee om te gaan. Maar ja, afspraak is afspraak, zou ik zeggen. Hoe dat zich gaat ontwikkelen, dat weet ik niet. Misschien wordt het tijd dat Rugby Europe of World Rugby gewoon zegt van... dit is wat het is, we willen dit. We maken dat een formeel iets, want nu heb je die hele rare constructie van zogenaamd club rugby, franchise. Dat is een enorme omweg. Maar misschien moet je er gewoon iets van maken, iets formeels van maken. En dan moet je met de regels omgaan zoals
I think at the
zijn.
moment it's every country can choose what they want to do with it. So whether they want to use it as a development pathway or for their national team, it's how they want to use it. So I think that's for us as a union maybe that we need to make more of a decision of exactly what it means. And I think judging by the results on the weekend, it was really impressive. And I would love to see the up-and-coming youngsters given more game time at that level. It just makes it better for the rest.
Dat was ook de afspraak natuurlijk.
Yeah, and that's good. It's good we're sticking to that then. But coming back a little bit, and then also, more international news is that the ladies' Dutch team will be playing the Fijiana tomorrow night in the Amsterdam Stadium at 7:30. And we've seen Fiji train the whole week and obviously been part of the Dutch setup, and I tell you what, it's going to be a cracker. It's the HIWRs3ep2 for the ladies as they fly off to Dubai to take part in the WXV for the next 3 weeks, where they have a good chance of trying to qualify for the World Cup in England next year. And from everyone here at HIWRs3ep2, we wish you all the best with the game tomorrow night 100%. And also into Dubai. As we go on now, I want to come back. Last week we spoke about transfers and coaches and what have you. Gersy coming in with a lot of knowledge about this. You've obviously got some intel of a couple of clubs in the country that have got some real good front rowers coming in?
Yeah. A couple of boys I've coached. Wayne Borsak arrived, I think, yesterday. He's going to take on Bradar. I was coaching him this year, actually, in Warringah in Australia. He's a real good front rower, so he's played 10 years at that top level, first grade shoot shield level. So that's, and I think he trained with the Waratahs Super Rugby as well. So he's
some good quality.
He's a quality prop.
He's got a Bradar.
He's a Bradar. He arrived yesterday.
He's going to love it there.
And I'm actually...
Bij anders.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Ferrari, yeah.
Oh, no.
And then you've got...
Bradar's good.
Maar het is heel goed dat juist de mindere clubs zich goed versterken. Dat is voor de competitie precies wat we willen. Want nog een topper naar Eemland of nog een topper naar Geurs, dat is eigenlijk niet prima, maar dat maakt de competitie niet sterker.
I love how you always bring up Geurs and Eemland, the Dukes of... Anyway, sorry, Gersy, carry on there.
And then you've got Blake Males, a guy that I've coached for a long time at Rotterdam. So he's a real good hooker, really good rugby pedigree. And then you've got Brady Dawson, who just played, I think, 30 minutes in the Shoot Shield Grand Final, first grade Shoot Shield Grand Final at Rotterdam.
He's also at Rotterdam, right?
Yeah,
so, I mean, Rotterdam must have really improved there, because after last season with their scrum and stuff, it's good that they've got recruitments there, some good recruitments, and as we can see, the results really working well for them. Let's jump into the games.
Ja, en die gasten moeten nog beginnen, hè? Die moeten nog beginnen.
Yeah, but I'm saying they've invested in it, which is good.
Duidelijk.
We're going to start off with the first game, Oysters versus HIWRs3ep2. Obviously, not the result you wanted, but you pushed them close.
Yeah, well, we didn't get the chocolate, so yeah.
So I mean, some classic Oysters using whip, but also.
Van Bauer die neemt afscheid, want die gaat naar Australië toe volgens mij.
Well, he's going on a sabbatical, so yeah, it's a good little footwork there and just a casual little tap down. Eh? He's a new player though for the Oysters on the wing.
Yeah, Piggy Slade. He played under 19s Australian Barbarians and Lockie Pepperbridge, our 9. He's played for me in Australia before as well. So
some good offloading skills.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what have the challenges been for you at the Oysters so far? You're obviously coming from Shoot Shield, this must be, obviously it's a great opportunity, but also it must have its challenges where you're coming from a country, a tier 1 country to a development country. Really, it's.
Yeah, look, you don't get fined here if you make comments to it. No.
Anders was ik al dood geweest, denk ik.
Otherwise, the show would be cancelled.
Look, I think the biggest difference coming from Shoot Shield, because I look at what we're doing with the boys at Oysters and providing that rugby environment, and we're training like we're a Super Rugby outfit. We're doing the same things. We're providing that platform. But the biggest thing is the officiating in the game, and how much it actually slows the game down, and some of those decisions really slows that game down. So for me, they're probably the real big differences to the game. And I think it's something we've got to improve on as a nation to bring that standard up, so we're playing the same game as others.
Yeah. Well, look, I think in the referee's defence, I think it's probably the most underfunded or invested in part of the game, which is it's not their fault. These guys and ladies are taking out a lot of their free time to come and ref the game for us, and I think this is definitely an area where we need to start showing more investment and great offload here. Yeah, from your big prop, he says he's fast, yeah?
Yeah, no, Lama, I don't know if he says he's fast, but the other bloke said he was fast, and he proved that just there. Yeah, Lama's from Australia as well.
Is that on his CV? He's fast?
Yeah.
So, I mean, here you've got, 5 minutes to go, and you probably thought you had the game in the bag, and then case...
Just you can't see that on the tape, but just some rugby IQ stuff there. We talked about it last night. It's a
hier, even voor... Jullie staan niet comfortabel, maar wel vlak voor het einde. En dan zie je dat je lekker net niet goed positioneert.
Yeah, that's what he was just saying.
Yeah, that's, we talked about that.
Nou ja, goed, wij proberen even iets in Nederlands uit te vertalen. Ja, nee, maar gewoon meer te vertalen naar hoe wij naar rugby kijken. We stonden er niet helemaal geweldig voor.
No, maar at the same time, with probably 4 minutes to go, you should be able to close out a 2-point game.
Yeah. 100%.
And also they missed the conversion, right?
Yeah.
So if you nail that conversion, you're 4 points clear. So then, you know, you
They
have
have to
pressure's
score.
on them, yeah.
You know, the pressure's on them. They can't get a penalty to win it. So,
No.
and like Gersy's saying, maybe a bit of rugby IQ there in the sense of
Yeah, look,
game management. Or,
and we talked about it last night, and we talked about it as a group. We had a nicety session around that, and you know, why we've got our smaller blokes on that front line, who made that decision, and you know, we're going to be better for it. We're learning as a group, and we're a new group, so. But yeah, we had a heart-to-heart around that last night at training, and went through that video review, and just went, and the boys own that. So, you know, we're growing.
So what's the difference? Like, you know, coming into the Oysters, you obviously know a little bit about their history and stuff. What are you going to bring to the table in the sense of, like, what's your plan to take the Oysters to make that step?
Yeah, look, well, I think it's feeding into what they've said for a long, long time, that they're a family club, but what's that actually mean? And what I tried to do, and what we've done this year is, you know, we don't call it first and second grade anymore, and we call it a Saturday and a Sunday team, because we're one group. We are one family, we are one club, and we also train with, the under-18s have been training with us all pre-season, so we're really inclusive in that group, and we call that a top squad. And our apps and everything is the under-18s are in it right through. So we really tried that connection right down to that 17, 18-year-olds right through to the Saturday team is the best way to say it. And we also, I did watch your show last week for the first time because I wanted to see what I was walking into. But
Not the shit show.
It's a shit show, but a shit show.
But no, and how do we then bring that third and fourth grade group into it, knowing that, you know, if I've got 65 guys in that top squad, and that's not including the Colts, some of those guys are going to go down in the third grade. So how do we keep that all engaged? Because if you're trying to create one club, and that's what I'm trying to feed into, what they've set as a standard, what they want to be, and then try and grow that from what I know.
Okay, and I'm probably going to put you on the spot here, but what's the goal? Like, what do you want to achieve with this?
I wouldn't be a coach if I didn't say I want to win the competition. So
Love that.
at the end of the day, like at the end of the day, we're going out there to win every weekend. So that's the goal, right? That's it.
No, that's clear. That's clear.
So, dan gaan wij jullie tegen door de week spelen, denk ik.
Yeah, but you have to also change the mindset there as well.
Yeah,
They always find good excuses to when they lose as well,
Yeah.
which they also have to change that.
I've heard that many times this week. Oh, what a great improvement! We're on the right steps. No, we're not. We're losing. So, at the end of the day, I'd sometimes rather lose by 20 and go, I've got big problems, than lose how we've lost over the last few weeks.
I know, I've heard that. I've heard that before.
So, you know, because that comes down to that mentality what you're talking about. So, we're going to have a good look at ourselves, and we're on the right path. We've just got to make sure we stay there.
So,
One thing, does he remind you of Mike Pano a little bit?
Mike Pano. Well, he's got grey hair.
Mike's hair's coming through. There, red hair.
Gersy's a bit thinner.
Exactly. Probably taller.
I've been 10 years in the shoot shield.
No disrespect, Mike.
No.
Right, so moving on to Haarlem.
Ik wil even terugkomen op de refereeën waar we het net over hadden. Dat is echt wat je zei, het minst gefunde verhaal. Die hebben echt veel meer aandacht nodig vanuit Rugby in Nederland. En vanuit de clubs. Want ik weet, we hebben natuurlijk de hele tijd gehad, Michael Asma heeft heel veel aandacht aan besteed. De hele tijd. We hebben die refs in een enorme, steile, stijgende lijn beter zien worden. De refereeing, we zagen ze erbij komen. Ik heb het idee dat dat een beetje stil aan het vallen is.
Yeah, well, look, I also think you can't. I mean, there's some cracking refs in the country that are doing a fantastic job. You can't paint them. No. And it's not, again, I don't think it's the referee's fault. I think it's the system that the referees are in that's not, you know, there's a great coaching pathway, there's player pathways, there's no referee pathway. And we need to stand up and sort that out and support the referees, because at the end of the day, there's no game, you know, without a ref. So we can moan, I mean, we all do, we all give it a good moan, which sometimes is justified, sometimes is not, but at the end of the day, rugby is all about respecting the official. And we'll keep doing that, but at the same time, I do think it's a talking point in Dutch rugby that if we want to take the next step, qualifying for World Cups, Junior World Trophies, what it is, you need to have these guys also pushing to ref in those competitions. And I think if you look at, I've been now to a Junior World Trophy, and now going to Dubai, and we don't have any officials going into those tournaments. That's a concern. We've got teams going there, we've got coaches going there, learning, picking up, but we don't have officials. And that bringing that information back home and sharing it and that experience, it only makes us better. So we need to get the referee pathway up and going. And
but also the connection, like the Shoot Shield. You're sitting as coaches. You're sitting with referees once a month, 6 weeks, and go, rightio, here's some videos. So you're not talking to the referee after the game. Yeah. You're not allowed to in Australia, so it's different. You've got 45 minutes. You're not allowed to go near a referee. And then, but what you're doing is you're sending clips to them, and they've got to respond to you via a correct platform.
We used to have
we need to sort of. And I wouldn't know where to go at the moment, right? So we need to understand some, and it's not having a go at referees, but it's understanding rulings so we can go back and coach.
100%.
What we need to coach.
100%. Yep. Right. So moving on to Haarlem against Eemland. Well, we thought this would probably be a walkover, but Haarlem actually did well to stand. But Eemland did play a lot of young, inexperienced players, but Haarlem did really well. But we'll have a look at this. I think Stormy, your club.
Yeah.
You know, a bit of fight.
I was at this game as well. On the way there, yeah, I also was thinking like you guys that Eemland would pump Haarlem actually, but yeah,
well, it's good to see Eemland showing that moving the ball, and I mean, look, they're known as a set piece team, which they can always go back to when they feel a bit under pressure. But I think Mitch and his coaching staff are definitely trying some new things of letting the ball do a little bit more work.
Yeah, he's giving some young fellas.
And a lot of young boys taking. Well, so I mean, Bram Rotters at 10 has been really has had 2 really good games. They've still got some big guns in the side there. I know Luke Randall going across there, although he got a yellow card in this game for a spectacular tackle. For a prop to come back and tackle someone once he's made a line break, I think you shouldn't be giving him a yellow card. You should be giving him a beer, probably. No?
Gold medal.
No, but to be honest, very proud of how Haarlem turned up. They always play good at home, though.
Yeah.
I think most teams always play good at home, but Haarlem.
Yeah, and also, Haarlem now with the new director of rugby, he's still not in the country, but should be interesting long term.
Uit Zuid-Afrika, toch?
Yeah.
Maar die zat nog vast op een visum?
Yeah, he's still waiting for, South Africa with that green passport, you can't leave anywhere, you have to wait.
Remember all those years with the Dutch team, we had to go wait for your visas.
Yeah, I always got pulled over.
Yeah. But me and
discrimination at the
me and them always had to go to these immigration offices in Den Haag to get the visas into different countries.
Ik heb een mooie anekdote. Ik ga niet vertellen wanneer, ik ga ook niet vertellen wie. Maar we hadden een speler die uit Afrika kwam. En dat was allemaal, wij regelen dat hier goed bij de Jukes. Dus we weten hoe het werkt met visa en alles. Uiteindelijk moet je ook een stempeltje krijgen op de ambassade om te mogen gaan vliegen. Hè? Dan heb je niet genoeg aan het visum. Je moet een stempel hebben en dan mag je vliegen. Dus we worden gebeld s'avonds, onze Rick wordt gebeld. Ja, luister, het is heel simpel. Ik kan dat visum morgen ophalen, of die stempel morgen ophalen, maar dan moet ik die vrouw die dat doet wel mee uit eten nemen vanavond. En niet zomaar naar een restaurant. Je had ook een bepaald restaurant en dat kostte dan een heleboel, wat ze daar ook hebben, rand of zo. En dan kwam dat wel goed. En zo is het gegaan, dus dat geld over, die heeft het mee uit eten gedaan.
You're talking about Zimbabwe, not South Africa.
Ik zei niet Zuid-Afrika, ik zei Afrika.
Okay, right, so obviously, Haarlem probably, after a 3-year period where, again, it was interesting that they got so high, then they had a bit of a low last year with, controversy and what have you there, but now rebuilding, youth pathways in good shape, so exciting things there. But I think the exciting thing is the next game, which is the Dukes against RSA. The Dukes finally playing a bit of rugby. Maybe. Gainline rugby. But to start with,
daar begonnen ze niet mee.
RSA started the game like a house on fire. Two tries to nothing, I must say. RSA, apparently after the game it was said that they got motivation, that we predicted that they would take plenty points. And I think they came out the barn firing.
They're keeping the receipts, we like to call it. Keep the receipts.
Keep the receipts, there we go. You heard it here first from Stormy.
Don't get mad, get even.
And then a nice more try here from them, the second one. It really, the Dukes had what we call in Dutch even inkomen moment.
Ja, het Brabants kwartiertje, maar dit is in de 16e minuut, dus dan zou daar niet meer onder vallen. Maar je staat eigenlijk gewoon met 14-0 achter.
Okay.
En dat is geen...
But I must say, the Dukes look like they have a little bit more hunger to them this season. The forwards look like, they're mauling their defence. You wouldn't say that now, but they're scrumming and more direct play. Yeah. There seems to be a little bit more bounce in the step here in Den Bosch.
In New Zealand, we have a saying like, do the mahi, get the treats, basically. And it looks like they've been doing the work,
mahi.
the mahi as well.
Yeah, it's a good try there from, I think it's Dylan Robertson.
That's Dylan, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Speaking of the
This was a great kick here. I thought that this was a great kick here, and then going into a classic sort of Dukes play. But last season we saw the Dukes sort of play more wide. This year we're seeing them more gain line success early, and then trying to get into the space, which suits the Dukes, doesn't it?
Well, they've got a big physical pack.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's more around the.
Is that your prop
the playmaker though, right?
Dat is de eerste rij.
That you fat shamed on the show last week.
Ja, hij is nog steeds boos. Ik had vorige week gezegd, we hadden 5 props gehaald, maar hij heeft die andere 4 opgegeten. Hij vond het niet leuk.
No, but last season they had what's that 10's name?
Phoenix.
Yeah, him, who's a sevens player too, who likes to go side to side, basically. Yeah. Now they got Vugger, who knows these boys, who can go more direct.
Yeah.
Which is
well, I mean, yeah, it's good to see that they. And I think RSA will take comfort out of this result. But I think if they can sort their defense out, a lot of triangles, a lot of one-up defending. But there's certainly no lack of passion at RSA coming up into the area class. I think they certainly won't be ashamed about this performance.
Yeah. Rugby technisch gezien is het in ieder geval een aanwinst, wat mij betreft.
Another Australian coach there at RSA, Paul Davey.
We
were just speaking about him.
Yeah, he's also played a lot of rugby here in the Netherlands, so I think bringing him back for the club is a real good thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Paul Davey was responsible for making the first foreign exiles team.
Yes.
That played against the Dutch team.
Yes.
As a warm-up for the Dutch team as well.
This is a great run by an ex-Ringo-Rats player, Mumbo.
Yeah.
And he's well known at the club for probably the wrong reasons, but
well,
here we go. Here's Mumbo, here he comes.
Don't know if it's wrong.
Look at him go.
You have a great story about him, don't you? Tell us about that great story.
He's 52, isn't he?
Something like that.
Was that V?
That's me.
Is that my man V?
Uncle V. But no, great performance by the Dukes at home. I mean, look, it seems there's a lot more energy in the tank here than there was last year. That's unfortunate because 50 years would have been the year that you would like, something to happen. Now it's 1 year later, who knows?
Ja, we gaan het zien.
Not energy, but more. It looks like they got a game plan.
Nee, maar nou probeer jij mij dat we kampioen moeten worden of zo. Maar doe normaal, man. Nee, wat ik leuk vind is om te zien, ze hebben het goed naar de zin en volgens mij draait het aardig, de atmosfeer is goed en ik lag op het strand in Valencia, dat vond ik ook lekker.
Ja.
Dus,
right, ladies and gents, that brings us to the first part of the show this evening, all the highlights, and we'll be back with you shortly to go through some interesting stories from the sideline from Storm Carrol, but also the predictions for the next week's games. So get a beer and we'll see you soon. Ladies and gents, to the second part of the show, and wow, in the break did we have a laugh about a story which we have to share with you. Storm Carrol was so keen to stay in the Netherlands that he went as far as almost getting a partnership visa with one of your teammates, right?
You could say it was a gay relationship.
Gay relationship.
The gay visa.
Well, you got to explain.
It happened. To be honest, I was at Ketchum. We also dominated for 5 years in a row. We won the competition, but after that 5th year, we lost all our sponsorship money, so couldn't afford to have a top sport visa anymore. And at that time, my partner was studying, so she didn't make enough. But the bar that I always went to in Castricum, the bar guy,
He's going to do
big
it.
friend of mine.
Bubba.
He wanted to help me out in this situation because I gave a lot of money over at that bar there. So he wanted to help me out, and so we both went to the immigration. 5 minutes before our meeting, we practiced holding hands and walking into this place as well.
You sure it was
Like, we were so nervous. we were so nervous. This is what had to happen, like, and then. We just get it.
Practice holding hands.
We get in there. We first did the three, and then we're like, "No, that's too intimate." So we were like, "Let's just do this." And then it just basically we were like, "No. We're just gonna walk in there, just strong and united."
He's my bro.
And we sat down, and like it was just a breeze. We thought I thought the immigration officer was going to ask us all about our relationship and how long we've been together. But I don't think she even cared, basically.
I think they were just happy that you probably wouldn't procreate.
Was it Bubba?
Well, basically, the reason for this story, guys, like, obviously there's going to be stories out there like this, you know? Don't be ashamed to share them as well.
Well, you heard it.
They're making for a good podcast.
Right? You know, if ever in doubt, there's always a way to get a visa into a first world country. Yeah. All my South African buddies, I got your back. Anyway, moving on quickly.
Ik voel een heleboel piepjes aan het komen. Er komen een heleboel piepjes aan het denken.
Just to recap the show tonight, what a crazy show it's been. Breda against Gooi. Gooi winning that comfortably as predicted, 40 points to 17.
Ja, maar Breda scoort wel 17 punten.
Jammer.
Nee, 17 punten tegen Gooi. Ik vind het toch niet niks.
Okay, geen jammer.
Jawel.
Then Oysters against Hawks, which we saw, cracking game, 18-23. Oysters probably had it in the bag. Gersy still not happy.
Yep.
The beers are going down like homesick moles.
Can we move on?
Yeah, sorry. Hook van Holland against Cass. Special mention to the, what do you call them?
Dinges.
No, niet de Dingers. Okay, the Hook van
De
Holland.
hoekers van Holland.
Yeah, you usually call them something else. But anyway, the Hook van Holland.
Leuk.
Congratulations, 15 years. Birthday, correct, Gil? 50.
How good
50 years for the Hook van Holland.
Oh ja, maar ik had een plaatje, want de hoekers bestaan 50 jaar. Nee, serieus, die bestaan 50 jaar. Die beginnen hun jubileumseizoen nu.
Okay. Well, look, let's hope it goes better for you than it did for the Dukes.
Dat is echt zo uncalled for.
Yeah, right. Anyway, they beat Cass in the last 15 minutes, ran away with that 47-34. Then Rotterdam against Diok, 65-7 to Rotterdam. You know, Rotterdam looking class act with Maddox and co. Also Wolf van Dijk. Absolutely.
I think Wolf's that missing factor that they didn't have the last two seasons.
Yeah,
as well,
and also
that's just
obviously
gonna
these
give
two
them-
front rowers coming in now. You know, at the moment, it's only 2 games into the season. It's a long way to go, but you have to say we got to get Rotterdam on the show because I think
Ja, absoluut.
this team is going to really.
If we look back in the last 2 seasons, they always start well and then just.
Ja, nee, maar het eerste jaar hadden ze een geweldige verdediging. En daar deden ze het mee. Het tweede jaar waren ze een stuk sterker, maar werd het zwakker aan het einde van het jaar. Ik heb het idee, dit jaar worden ze alleen maar sterker.
This is the season.
This is the
Yeah,
season.
well, look, I mean, I think also with the break, that January to March sort of break, it might, do well for a club like that.
It might do worse as well.
It might do worse. You never know. You never know. I think, but look, what they've got at the moment is the recipe for success. Great players, as Gersy was saying.
Do you know who I also heard was coming back to Rotterdam? Huey van Vliet.
Yeah, he is back. Crazy. I spoke to him. Also, they've got a youngster, Martijn van Dalen, come back from Australia. He's back in there now as well.
Yeah, he's
Maar heb je gezien wat het verlies het was voor Rotterdam toen Huey van Vliet er niet meer bij was? Wat een verschil dat maakt.
Yeah, no, Huey van Vliet, great man and a great asset to any team.
Absoluut.
So Rotterdam making Diok not looking good at all.
Nee, die ook staan.
Doorzetten is ons kracht, hè? It's the only club you haven't played for, back.
Yeah, and I literally live a 5-minute bike ride from.
And you never played for them?
And never played for them. No, I don't like the colour of the uniform.
the same colour you
Oh,
got.
there we go. Right. Then Haarlem against Eemland, which we showed you. Eemland comfortable winners there, 26 points to 8. And then the Dukes against RSA, 43-29, denying the Dukes a bonus point, which we predicted. The only one we got wrong. So congrats to RSA on proving us wrong there. And but happy to see the Dukes playing some great rugby. Then moving on to
probeert het goed te
the
houden.
log, just quickly, Rotterdam comfortably at the top. Eemland, Haagse, Gooi and the Dukes all unbeaten. Then RSA. Some interesting games coming up to this weekend. But
Ik verwacht nu wel een schifting. De komende 4-5 wedstrijden zien we wel zware partijen. Echt verschillende gewichtsklasses. Dus ik denk wel dat het nu
yeah, well, look,
uit
I
elkaar
think,
gaat lopen.
like Gersy was saying earlier, the competition's got some interesting twists to it that, like for a team like the Oysters, they're really up against it now against, some of the
Top
top
5
teams.
eerst of zo, geloof ik.
And then, but you're also going to then get a period where, you might be able to get 3-4 wins on the bounce. Although you say every weekend you want to go for the win.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't look at that. Look, it's as we talked before. I think every team can show up on the day and do their job and beat anyone. Right? That's how tight the competition is. So it's about sustaining, a long period of time of playing good footy, and the results will take care of itself.
Yeah, that's good. Right, so this week's predictions. Right, we've got a couple of games. Obviously, you know the game. Well,
Kas Haarlem.
yeah, wait, I'm explaining the rules.
Oh,
here.
sorry.
Even wachten, hè? Even wachten.
Ik help jou.
Just helping Gersy here. So what we'll do is we predict the score and bonus point, no bonus point, and any sort of comments we want to throw in there as well. Before we get into this, I say it every week, no one really answers except for Gilbert. But we would love to hear your comments. Maybe give us a comment about Storm's great story. If you have any stories that you would like us to share on HIWRs3ep2, like the bro visa.
Of de bruidsjurk. Ik vind hem net zo goed eigenlijk.
We're worried about the visa or the holding hands.
The practicing, you mean? The actual thought behind it. If you've got any great stories that you would like to share on HIWRs3ep2, hit us up, because we'd love to share them. We'd love to make the show a little bit funnier, because we've got Eric here, so we need to make sure it's...
Mate, that's not even the funniest story.
Whoa, hold on. We've had enough for one night. We're going to move on to the predictions now. The first game we've got here is Cass against Haarlem, derby match. Two clubs that you'd probably have to say Cass with probably a little bit more at the moment in the tank than Haarlem.
Well, they both haven't won, so they're both going to be really desperate.
Hungry.
So it's going to be it's all on the line for two teams like that.
At Cass, when they run out, they play that song, Who Let the Dogs Out?
I started that.
Yeah, look at him. Oh.
Maar dat had natuurlijk van de Dukes moeten zijn. Hè? Hoe let de Dukes uit?
That's terrible banter.
Ja, absoluut.
Right, so we'll start with Gersy. Yeah, we'll start with
There's no such
Gersy.
thing as bad banter.
Shanta. There's Cass against Haarlem. Who are you going for here?
Oh, look, you'd have to say Cass at home.
Okay, Cass at home. You're going to go bonus point win or?
No, it's going to be close.
Okay, Cass to win it.
Yeah.
Stormy?
I'm going Haarlem to win it, just based off how they played against Eemland on Saturday.
Oh, nice. Cass won, Haarlem won. But Haarlem, obviously, no bonus point or?
No bonus point.
Close
I think
game.
it would be pretty tough, yeah.
Physical game.
I don't see. I don't
Battle
see
of the
Cass-
brothers,
I don't- yeah, exactly. The brothers are there as well,
Rickard
yeah.
against HIWRs3ep2.
HIWRs3ep2, yeah. So, how do you say? Both kind of relatively new teams as well. So I don't like.
Also, how many
I don't
players
see
are playing
Cass
for
there.
Delta for Cass? Might be interesting.
None.
And there's a rumour going around that the TC selects the team. Do you know anything about that stuff?
I've heard whispers, yeah, but just rumours, yeah.
So the
That-
coach
that might
doesn't
be
select the team, but the TC, that's quite interesting. If you can verify that for us, it would be great.
The TC wanted me to play actually this season for Cass, yeah.
No, but you chose the Ferrari.
I can't play. I'm 40 years old, man. So.
Well, mate, they're very loyal to you with their visas and everything.
Yeah.
But Eric, who are you going?
Nou, zijn de spelers terug bij Kas? Bart?
I think Bart's out because he was supposed to be playing for Delta, but I think he's out of Delta. That means I don't think he's playing for Cass. So no, I think Bart's is out, which is a big loss. And Eemland is playing for Delta, if I'm correct, in Romania this weekend.
Ik vind het heel moeilijk, maar dan ga ik toch even voor Kas, omdat het bij Kas thuis op Wouterland altijd een soort hellhole is om daar te winnen dan.
I'm going to go Haarlem, so I'm going to join Storm on this. So make it a 2-2. Heel goes Cass. So that's 3-2 here on HIWRs3ep2. So Cass to Pippet.
The Oracle.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Okay. So next game we have Diok against Hoek van Holland.
Ja, Diok, dat gaat niet goed nu. Dus ik gooi Hoek van Holland in de strijd.
Bonus point?
Ja.
Okay, Hook with a bonus.
Yeah, we played hook in a trial. I think they'll do it by plenty.
Okay, hook by plenty, so that's bonus.
Yeah, well, just watching the last 2 games that hookers have been playing, they've been playing
Really
some
good, eh?
great rugby, actually. The best
Jack
I've seen
Slob.
in my time here, actually. So, yeah, well done over there, but I think I'm going with...
Yeah, Bram, the
hookers,
Belgian
yeah.
coach, but also great recruits. Jack Slob, back from Clermont. He's just come back last weekend, played his first minutes, and then obviously the 12, who's just, he's a class.
Oh, they were a real good. We played them in a trial. They're a good footy team.
Okay, so, and Giel, who's our master at this, so we'll go, he says hook, also 5, so bonus point as well. So we're going clean sweep for hook, bonus points against Diok.
One question, do you think Diok will now use this as motivation?
I would hope so. They need something.
They need something, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough times, it must be, because it's two big losses. You'd have to think that they're, and they're at home. Maybe playing at home, but mind you, they're against the Dukes, they were at home as well, and they didn't really fly. So it would be interesting to see if they can pull something on the phone. We obviously hope that teams fire, but judging by the results, we think Hook is going to clean sweep there. Eemland against the Oysters. Gersy, you don't have to predict this one because we know what you want.
Take the 5th.
Stormy?
We haven't got a 5th here.
Oh, I'm taking it. I just started it.
I'm just gonna have to go off experience. I think Eemland will win it. But to be honest, guys, like I haven't watched any interclass game except for Haarlem, Eemland, and Eemland. Yeah, they know how to finish a game.
Yeah,
That's the best thing
when they
about
have
it.
to, they'll go to them or they'll go to their set piece. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how you combat that. Obviously, the next time we see you, we'll have a good chuckle about what your plans are to rattle the cage. Knowing you've got some cunning plan. Eric?
Hoe graag ik ook zou zeggen Oysters, denk ik dat ze pas volgende week gaan beginnen met winnen. Dus ik denk dat ze deze week tegen Eemland, dat is nog net even te vroeg. Net een maatje te groot, maar in potentie...
It's also at Eemland, hè?
En het is...
Tough place to go.
Ja, daar gaat het niet mee van. Dus ik geef deze aan Eemland. Maar ik zeg er wel bij dat Oysters de verrassing van het jaar gaat zijn. Ga ik te langzaam?
Ja,
Definitely.
heel
It's definitely the surprise teams.
No, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
But I think there's only 2 teams that have beaten Eemland in the last 2 seasons.
Haarlem?
Is Haarlem one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you beat them at Eemland?
Yeah.
And then there's
A
3
few
teams.
times.
So it's a tough place to go to. But I would say Eemland, but no bonus point. I'm going to go that Oysters they're going to shake a few cages there. So I'm going to go Eemland, but no bonus. Giel goes Eemland with bonus point. Sorry, who did you say Eemland? After that long
You
story.
went Oysters.
Eenmaal, uiteindelijk zei ik dan Eemland.
5 points or?
Nee, 4.
To
Okay,
motivate your boys.
Okay, so right.
Thanks, boys. But no, it's good. It's been a great night.
You want to hold hands?
I'll teach you.
You took the 5th. You could have made it almost even.
Right, then we've got Gooi at home to RSA. Judging by the performance from RSA this weekend, we're not going to give them motivation, or we're going to give them motivation, Eric?
Nee, AAC gaat gooien helemaal overroelen. Nee, dit is een dikke winst. 5 punten voor AAC.
Okay, that's a big call. They did lose their flower from, well, I don't know if he's out, but he
Dan 4 punten.
did not look like a good injury in the last game. Yeah, let's see how that goes. But RSA by?
Nee, ik denk dat... weet je wat ik ga zeggen?
Ja.
Het wordt een gelijkspel.
Oh, a draw.
Ja.
When last did we hear that?
Very,
Nou ja, vorig jaar 4 keer.
very political.
The Dukes with a draw. Right, Storm?
I think Gooi is going to win this by 20 plus.
Okay, so they go 5 points there.
Easy.
Ooh,
Yeah, Koi at home. Yeah, for sure.
Gooi at home. But Giel goes no bonus point. Bonus point for RSA. Interesting call there, Giel. I think RSA will appreciate that.
Ja, het is een apart standpunt, maar er zit
Yeah,
genoeg
look,
in de put.
I think Gooi will have too much. I think at the end of the day as well, experience will count there. But also they're missing a few players to Delta, so it could make it interesting. Then the big one of the weekend. Rotterdam against the Dukes. This is a good one. Stormy, what do you reckon?
It's not big. Rotterdam easy going to win this. Yeah.
Rotterdam 5 points.
They love to start the season really well. So yeah, this is just another stepping stone in their another stepping stone in the start of their season. I think
Just remember the show is sponsored by the Dukes.
Oh, I know.
Check Eric. Gersy, what you going at?
Yeah, no, I think Rotterdam will do it, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I think Rotterdam will, the Dukes will front up, and as we looked at some of their footage, they're playing pretty direct footy, so they'll be able to test Rotterdam better than what they have. So Rotterdam haven't really been tested, and I think the Dukes will do that. So I don't
First
think
test, eh?
Yeah.
That's interesting, yeah. Okay, so we could both going Rotterdam, but no bonus point.
Bonus point.
Bonus point.
I think they'll get the bonus point. But
All
I
right,
think
so bonus point. You going Dukes?
Nee.
Rotterdam.
Ja.
Bonus point or none?
Nee, geen bonuspunt.
Okay, yeah, that's what Giel says as well, that the Dukes... No, you say the Dukes are going to win and Rotterdam will get 1 point.
Biased.
There we go, Giel. I'm going Rotterdam.
Dat is liefde, hè? Geen verstand.
Yeah. I'm going... Oh, Giel hasn't been wrong yet this season. Yeah. And then last game, HIWRs3ep2. Got a new prop in. Is he going to make that much of a difference that he can
Well,
swing again?
he'll definitely make their scrum pay.
So the scrum will pay.
But I haven't looked at Bradar, so I don't know what they've got underneath. They haven't got results at all this year. So I definitely...
And it's away.
Their scrum will be under pressure. We put Haarlem scrum under pressure as well. So I know their scrum will be under pressure with Wayne, but yeah, you'd have to think Haarlem will win this.
Okay, Hog by a bonus point.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as I want to support Breda, because they've got a few of there's a few boys in the under 18s that are playing for Breda as well. I want to support them, but I think Den Haag will just be a bit too strong for them.
Right. Eric?
Ja, ik zeg ook Den Haag, ondanks, volgens mij, als ik het goed heb begrepen, heeft Breda al een spectaculaire aankoop gedaan. Dus daar gaan we heel veel plezier van hebben. Enorm verbouwen is dat we volgende week geen uitzending hebben. Omdat jij op vakantie bent, Irene op vakantie is, takelwerk is. Nou, dus we hebben volgende week geen Het is weer ruk. Dat vind ik wel jammer, want ik had heel graag gefocust op die speler.
Maybe we could still do it. I'm in Dubai. You here? We could do something online. Who knows? Maybe you never know.
Ja,
Bit of a challenge. I come from sunny, hot place with a nice pina colada.
Well, where are you going to be?
No, he doesn't want to do it by himself.
You're going to Spain to plant your orange trees?
Nee, dat doe ik de week daarna. Nee, maar 3 mensen van het team van 7 afwezig is gewoon te veel om te zeggen, oké.
So they Hawks to make a clean sweep there. So those are the predictions for this week. Interesting, but no real surprises. Maybe if there has to be, the Dukes could surprise. RSA could maybe. Oysters could. So let's see. But interesting predictions, and once again a cracking show tonight. I think it's been really cool to meet you, Gersy. Welcome, as I've said, it's been fantastic. Storm,
welcome to Haarlem.
Mate, I tell you what, your contribution tonight has been legendary.
Yeah,
nothing short of it.
I'm sorry about last time. Yeah,
it was completely different last time. No comment. I think we should actually show a clip. It's definitely Storm took all the comments.
De bruidsjurken doen we gaan het niet vertellen.
De wat?
De bruidsjurken. We gaan het niet doen.
Well, we already told that. We started the show with it.
Ja, maar we gaan maar niet helemaal, hè?
No.
Okay, laten we zitten.
I think we've had enough PG moments tonight. But gents, it's been an absolute honour having you on the show. Eric, as usual. Hopefully we can sort something out for next week. If we can't, just remember there might not be a show next week, but we'll keep you up to date with that. Storm, all the best with Hilversum this season. I'm sure we'll see you again here at HIWRs3ep2 and hearing more stories about the Ferrari and hopefully some more stories around the campfire. Gersy, I'm sure you're going to come go back and say, boys, those guys are nuts.
I'm worried about the holding hands, that's all. The rest of it's okay.
Wait till the lights go out, mate.
So, Two Delta is playing in Romania this weekend. Good luck to the Dutch ladies who are playing Fiji on tomorrow night, but also leaving to Dubai. Good luck, all the best to all the Era Cluster teams and supporters. Thank you so much for supporting us. If you subscribe to the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. But from the Dukes in Den Bosch, I'll do and bye-bye.
Can I just say one thing? Fuck.
Good job.
You gotta cut that out.
That was my third word I had to say.